Hey you guys, it is William calling from wiwibloggs, and look mom, no computer has revealed his song for Eurovision 2026. It is Eins, Zwei, Drei, sieben, sieben, alulu, sieben, sieben, eins, zwei. And it is all about escaping the boredom, yes, the boredom of the everyday. Devon!
Hey you guys! Hey William!
Should we watch and react?
Let's do this!
Look Mum No Computer, that is the stage name of Sam Battle, and he is very quirky and very unique, as you can see in the artwork that's been released by the BBC. In a statement, he said, quote, "I am absolutely buzzing that the world can finally hear what we have created. Eins, Zwei, Drei was born during a session with the other writers and producers on my synthesizer Cosmo, and I couldn't be prouder of it. I want people to be able to dance, shout, sing along, and just embrace the absurd jubilation that I hope it sparks when you listen to it. We're working hard on pulling together all the elements to make it one of the wildest performances to ever grace the Eurovision stage, which is no small feat. See you in Vienna." Let's take a look at his lyrics. He says, "So sick of doing the whole 9 to 5. I pay my dues, I'm just staying alive. And I'm so bored of it, oh what's the point of it? A paracetamol to quench the pain. The office cubicle has trapped me again. Am I a mouse in a cage? Am I demotivational?" I'm sure many of us can relate to those feelings of office life. All right. We are hitting play. Very colorful.
Yeah, me too.
I hear ya. There's like a children's TV color to this.
Rubber stamp my life into success, please.
I like the bold color. Ooh, disgusting beans.
This is very Britpop with a slice of Euro indie drizzle.
I'm hearing Blur. Oh. This is so British. Britpop.
Proves my point.
We're in a garage. Late at night. Sticky floors.
I love his aviator worker suit.
That outfit, he could sell copies online. This is very Doctor Who.
I'm hearing like references of Gary Newman here, New Order.
Ugh. I'm getting like Madness, Blur.
But there's also a little bit of Gorillaz, a little bit of Pet Shop Boys.
Maybe the Pet Shop Boys.
It's simp heavy, very 80s.
Very quirky.
But that's also fashionable today.
It's actually very now, even if it's very then. Okay, again, Doctor Who.
Okay, it's a good refrain.
Love some pepperoni. He's very committed to this character, or actually just himself.
There's an eccentricity on loop here.
Because he is eccentric. Kids would love this.
Pizzas with eyes and tea.
If your pizza's talking to you, you may have drunk too much. Okay, we're going somewhere else. Oh! I like his posture. He's living
This
it.
feels really authentic to him. And I like what
He
he's
is living
doing
this.
here. It's not a key change. It's sped up. Yeah.
Oh, it's changing.
Building momentum.
Ah.
Oh, and a clear a cappella vocal finish. And of course, the car takes flight.
Taking flight.
Okay.
He could be opening the Olympic Games opening ceremony, London 2012.
I like the colors. Union Jack. This is actually good music, done playfully and done in a very sort of whimsical, nonchalant kind of delivery.
I like it. You know what? I really like it. This is completely out there. This is in its own universe. This is the 80s reinvigorated, not reinvented, but reincarnated for today. When I was a kid, like 12, 13, Blur, Oasis, Pulp, those are, well, not Pulp so much, but certainly Blur and Oasis were making inroads in the United States, and it was really exciting, and there was this vibe of, wow, the UK is amazing. And this kind of takes me back to that. You know where this is from the minute you hear it. There will be no mistaking. Yes, he says Eins, Zwei, Drei, but musically, sonically, you're like, wow, that is so British. And he, a British person, is so true to himself, right? It's playful. You feel like he is eccentric in real life. You feel like he's not acting here. He's just kind of doing what he would do. I mean, we know our man's quirky. He has a museum. What is his museum called? This museum is not obsolete. Our man runs a museum. He makes music. He loves these old school synths. And so it makes sense to see him on the synth.
You know, people credit this as being the only British entry in 70 years that has got non-English lyrics. I mean, I wouldn't quite go as far as saying Eins, Zwei, Drei is that for it's 1, 2, 3, right? I mean, like, everybody knows that. But what I do like about this is that it is unmistakably British. In the same vein, right? It's how a British person would sing it. And, you know, this takes me back to the days of Blur and, you know, Supergrass and playful Britpop over synthesizers. That's what I'm hearing here. And I love it. You know, this is a guy that is such a geek. He's such a nerd. I mean, Sam Battle I've respected for several years. There's so many things about him that I can sing, but one of the things that I'll tell you about, I knew about this guy. He did a video on his YouTube channel. He's a famous YouTuber. And he put out a video on a tour of MS Stubnitz, which is like this vessel. And he was so geeky about it. The video was super long. It was about 40 minutes. I have zero interest in that sort of content. But listen, I watched the whole thing. And at some point, I was bringing out my credit card to join the fundraiser. That is the power of immersive content creation. This guy can sell you anything. He's very entertaining. He's very connected with his online fan base. And guess what? He curates a museum in Ramsgate, which is called This Museum Is Not Obsolete. Like, who does that? And he's got all these geeky synthesizers and instruments and, you know, 808s and literally everything electronica, which perhaps isn't used today anymore. But you should go check it out. You should go check it out. Actually, while you're saying that, I will check it out. It's got sample packs. It's usually kind of open on weekends, but you know what? There's a lot of talking here. I'm actually going to book and go to the museum. The page is thismuseumisnotobsolete.com. You should check it out. And I think that really gives a slice of life into who Sam Battle, aka Look Mum No Computer, really is.
There's a colorway here, bold 80s, primary colors. It reads as an after-school special, something you might see, I don't know, on a kid's program about a mad scientist who's mixing, do-it-at-home experiments, making foam come out of things. And it's very warm and inviting, so I think young people, and indeed children do watch Eurovision. If they carried that aesthetic, they might be like, oh wow, I like him, I'm voting for him. but also adults will very much understand, remember this music from decades past. It gets under your skin. It feels somehow against the grain. It feels a little naughty, a little dirty, a little riotous. There is rebellion here. That's why I want to say rebellion. And actually, if you read these lyrics, now I'm not saying this is a political song, I'm not saying that, but Eins, Zwei, Drei, that's his sort of meditative chant to snap out of the boredom, the ennui of his day-to-day. You know, he's stuck in this job, which apparently he doesn't like, and he's like, if only I could count in another language and make it go away, and so he's speaking German, right? You could read this as some kind of disillusionment with the current situation in the UK, and he seeks comfort or at least adventure in Europe. You know, he has this roly-poly, this school dessert. I didn't grow up here, but this dessert they eat in British schools, which looked absolutely disgusting. You know, he was playing into that. And then he had the beans, and he sang in the song, counting in English doesn't cut the mustard. So sick of munching roly-poly with custard. I'm so bored with it. What's the point of it? Then he says he's a fan of flying, so he jumps on a plane to another nation because all of his pounds, British pounds, they feel counterfeit and he needs some euros to count on it. Maybe he's giving a post-Brexit message. I don't know his motivation. But definitely he feels he needs to leave the country, have an escape to sort of find himself. And Eins, Zwei, Drei becomes the meditative way to do that. I think Eins, Zwei, Drei is for him very meditative. Chanting is very powerful. Nam Mô A Di Đà Phật, Nam Mô A Di Đà Phật, for our Vietnamese followers out there. You know what? There are certain phrases that people use and it can take you somewhere else. And I feel like that's what he's doing with Eins, Zwei, Drei.
And what I like about Sam Battle is that it's less about authenticity, it's about upcycling. It's more about, you know, existing ideas, putting them in a blender and recreating his own take on existing ideas. And I think that's really clever. 70 years of Eurovision, it's been done, right? It's all been done. But he's still finding new and clever ways to innovate. The UK doesn't, you know, has mixed fortunes at Eurovision, but I think that this will resonate. There's nothing else that's going to sound like this. So it's decidedly different, certainly from a sound audio perspective. And I think visually as well, he's going to take it in new directions. All those musical props in this music video wouldn't surprise me if it actually came, if they're his stuff, which he's just wheeled out from the museum to put in the music video. And you know, what a clever idea. I really like it. Plus, he's really excited to be representing the UK at Eurovision. And I think that's where you know, that's a good starting point. Quite often, there have been some artists who've represented the UK at Eurovision. It almost kind of feel like you're begging them to do it. So they feel like they're doing you a favor. And there've been some big names that have come through. That's that kind of style of, oh, okay, I guess we're doing Eurovision, right? But no, with him, there is a real feeling of excitement, of joy, but also of wanting to have fun. And I think this is really a very healthy approach. And with that, he's courting new audiences and bringing people, you know, transitioning from this nerdy YouTuber who knows everything geeky about musical instruments and having these random strange walking tours on ships to actually owning the Eurovision stage and broadcasting to 190 million viewers. Do you know what I mean? He's in the grand final anyway, so why not have fun?
This song has great stage potential. It's already wackadoodle out there. So if they can give us wackadoodle out there on stage, I think this could actually get a lot of votes. It requires a lot of movement, but as we can see, he's very comfortable moving. Now, he's not Sacha Jean-Baptiste, he's not Beyonce, but he has moves of his own which fit the song, which makes me, you know, it looks very promising. My problem with the UK at Eurovision so often is that it's too vanilla and too safe. He is neither vanilla nor safe. This is much more Ben and Jerry's fish food. This is much more, safety hazard rather than safe. Look at all that electrical equipment. Because, if I go through the list, maybe I won't name names. Yeah, for instance, last year, Remember Monday. Amazing voices, they leaned country, and then they were given a song that was like not really leaning country, and it was very safe and vanilla, and so it didn't have that emotional connection because it wasn't necessarily them. Whereas this feels very much him. Like, you can tell he gave birth to this, and that's why it's believable. That's why it's likable. I'd rather be surrounded by 10 miles of quirky and dangerous than by, 1 mile of safe and boring. And also, I'm not gonna lie, he's Sam Battle. I prefer this song to Sam Ryder's song. Controversial. Sure, it's controversial. Sam Ryder was amazing. He delivered it very well. Great song. But this song is just more my style. Like, this is a song I would like to listen to and repeat. And if I'm walking down the street, this comes on, I'll be like, okay, I can get through today. Whereas Sam Ryder's song is wonderful, particularly in a TV setting, and he had incredible chops. But like, this song to me is something like, I could see people looping. Now, I'm not saying this is gonna come in second place. I am not saying this is going to come in second place, but what I'm saying is this is very interesting, and I think certainly with the people it could do well. Depending on how the staging goes, maybe the juries will also give it love.
And he's a creator. He's got a synthesizer bike, would you believe it? He's also got a custom-made synthesizer that he calls Cosmo. He's fronted an indie band, and this indie band played at Glastonbury. So you know that's a large audience, right? And he's also very good on TV. He hasn't had many opportunities of that, but arguably his YouTube work has a lot of production value. So that's a good sort of test run for the silver screen. Silver screen? No, that's cinema, isn't it? No, for television. But you know what? This man can do it all. I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to meet him. There's a very Doctor Who, Star Wars vibe about the whole thing. And I feel like he would be the artist that understands behind the scenes and how that feeds into his artistry and ultimately his success. This is a good pitch for the United Kingdom, and I hope that all the people that have inspired him, like Depeche Mode and, Duran Duran and New Order and all those people all come together to kind of upcycle what the 80s used to be for 2026. 70 years of Eurovision. Cheers. Because I feel really good about this. Also, the other thing is, I know we've just watched it now, and quite often you're distracted by visuals. But there were moments in there that I thought, this is actually a really well-produced track. This is not, the base product is decent enough for like suspension of visuals. So when you add the visuals into it, it's actually supporting what you're hearing. Yeah? At the same time, not taking it too seriously. This is not an academic approach to music. This is, let's have fun, and whilst we're at it, we're gonna drop in a little earworm so you don't forget the refrain. And guess what? This works!
Okay, I want to read some comments. This is T-Dance, maybe the best song after Spaceman. Yeah, no, I am here for that comment, absolutely. This is So Terry is online. The tune is hotter than a slice of pepperoni. Well done, UK. This is Honeycake609. Honestly, my favorite UK entry ever. Never thought I'd see the day a UK entry would be in my top 5. So proud right now. This is Christopher Thomas _. So not what I'd usually be drawn to musically, and I am obsessed with it. Got me feeling okie dokie. This is _Duarte.cid. Look, Mom, no points. Okay, that is a little harsh. I do think this entry is very divisive, clearly, because when you lean into who you are, you're obviously going to alienate some people, but that's okay, because you don't want them in your life anyways. No, I'm just kidding. Let's pretend this came in last. Let's just say that. Some songs come last and you're like, oh, what a disaster. Then other songs come last and you're like, oh yeah, sure, that came last, but that was a risk, and it was a risk that I'm glad they took because it's a good song. And I feel like with this, regardless of the result, the UK can be like, yeah, we sent something daring that was very us, and it's okay if it doesn't do amazing. However, I'm not saying this isn't going to do amazing. This is Dolly Up 13. He makes me think of Doc Brown from Back to the Future, LOL. This is Abs Fiona, Wham staging and crowd mics. This is gonna slap. Sounds very violent. This is Jason Green 87654, a mix of blur and madness. It's crazy, and I am here for it. A masterpiece. Roll on May, welcome back to the top 10 UK. This is Kiklope 26. Love the okie dokie. I can see the audience at the arena in Vienna singing with him. He interacting with them, epic. Everyone wearing the jumpsuits, and the jury giving the votes from each country, eating pepperoni. Amazing entry from the UK. I am here for it. About time the Brits feel proud of their flag. And you know what? What a nice feeling. It's really lovely when you can get behind your country's entry. CEZ_XO. I think this is great. Definitely the right choice to play into the artist's strengths. I think that's what was missing last year. What the hell just happened felt forced. The girls were more country, and it would have felt more authentic with that approach. Sam Ryder's entry played to his strengths, and so did Lucy Jones' entry. So excited to see the staging for this. Amen. Ta.mara.li.jian. Look, all I'm saying is that the last time the UK sent a Sam to the Eurovision, they did very well. And.im says, I'm not yet into it, but I love how unique this one is. And you know what? That in itself is a victory. When the UK has sent so many vanilla songs or songs that did not fit the artist, it is wonderful to see something that is daring, that is risky, and that absolutely fits the artist. And also, I think the word artist here is like appropriate. Our man is avant-garde. There is something about him. He is quirky. He is different. He is not playing by nobody's rules but his own. And that's just really refreshing to see. Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you loving the UK's entry? How high do you think Look Mum No Computer can climb? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Follow wiwibloggs on Pinterest, and we will see you later.
And we'll see you later.
Bye!
Bye!